Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video and something a little bit different here today, and a very, very exciting video, as today I'm bringing you guys my first ever laps and my first experiences in a 2021 Formula 1 car with the brand new regulations that are scheduled to arrive in 2 years time. And this mod was courtesy of the guys over at ACFL who made this. It is a paid mod, it'll be linked down below in the description, and this is on Assetto Corsa once again. And today we are driving the Ferrari. There's currently 3 skins for this. I believe it's the Ferrari, the Haas, and also the Alfa Romeo so far. And a couple of things to point out straight away. You can see the kind of improved front wings. You've also got the much bigger tyres and wheels with the wheel covers. You've got the super aggressive barge boards, which are a massive effort to try and improve airflow underneath the car using ground effect. And then the very, very unique and kind of staggering rear wing, which is super, super aggressive. And I actually really, really like the way it looks with the wheel covers. And it all kind of comes together really, really nicely. It makes it a really, really aggressive looking F1 car. But guys, straight off the bat, I do apologise if I sound a bit off. I am not ill, but I'm recovering from a bit of a hangover from yesterday. I was at the Esports event in London, and I flew back to Spain, back home today, so I'm a little bit hungover, but I wanted to do this video because I'm so excited about this, and I wanted to do it last week, but I was getting ahead, you know, for when I was flying over to the UK this past week. So apologies for not getting this video out sooner, but we are here nonetheless, and I'm looking forward to getting racing. So let's jump into it, and let's see what this car has to offer, and I personally cannot wait to see how she handles around the racetrack. So let's jump into it and let's have a little bit of fun. Okay, so here we are then, Abu Dhabi at night on the Assetto Corsa. We're going to run this in cockpit view as always. So let's get underway. Let's give her a couple of revs and see how she sounds first of all. Pretty damn good. I also love the steering wheel overlay they've made, but let's get underway then. Tyres nice and shiny, as you can tell. There we go then on the limiter. Very interesting already on the throttle application. I can notice already there that the car's quite slow to respond initially, and then it picks up really, really quickly. But here we go off the limiter then, as we go through the very unique Abu Dhabi pit exit. Oh, tyres are cold, almost hitting the wall already there. I've got damage off, so we haven't got to worry about that. But for that exact reason, tyres are cold, so the car wants to bite. Let's see if we can leave the pit exit. Tyres are actually super shiny on this, but here we go then, out the pit exit. No front end grip whatsoever. Tyres need to come up to temperature. Like always in these kind of videos, we'll do a couple laps with the default setup that you kind of get a box standard, and then we'll start to make changes accordingly as if it were a qualifying setup. But so far, first impressions, feels pretty similar to a current Gen F1 car, of course. They are saying that these cars will be about 2.5 to 3 seconds slower than what we have right now, which are the fastest F1 cars of all time. So 3 seconds is okay in my opinion if we get the better racing with the the ground effect aero. But here we go into the first heavy brake zone, and the tyres are nowhere near up to temperature. Brakes also struggling, fronts and rears and brakes all cold, but we are going to get there eventually. There's already some improvement, and I've also got the engine turned down. We're running quite a conservative mode. I'm going to push it up a little bit. I'm going to run this in high, I think. I'm not even sure if the MGK delivery is 100% working at the minute. It is a very early stage of the mod. It's 0.1, so I think 0.2 is getting released very soon, and then normally a mod is completed when it reaches version 1.0, so you get the idea. It's a very early stage mod, this one, so have patience if you do install it yourselves and you do test it out. But I'm really impressed. For a 0.1, this is really good already. But here we go then through the hotel section. Unfortunately, in this version of the track, it's not completely textured correctly, so only one half of it kind of lights up. But still, the track looks fantastic in the Assetto Corsa here with this night mode. But here we go. The tyres do feel a bit more responsive now as we make our way through the final few corners. There's definitely a bit more of just a general understeer, and also at the minute the tyres are getting in the way of my vision. But here we go at the final corner using fourth gear. We're going to go into our first time lap. How late do we break into turn 1? Quite early. Even then I'm still struggling, but we do pick up some pretty decent mid-corner grip through turn 2. Now through 3, that's still flat just about, so that's not a concern, which is good to see. That's a bit too hot there, and we're going to have to cut that a little bit. I had no momentum in 8th gear though. As we make our way to the hairpin, let's try and finish this lap anyway and try and get some form of a reference lap time on the board. The tyres definitely feel really high up with this. Whether that's what it's going to be like in the real life thing, we'll find out. But DRS open on the back straight here. Let's try and finish this lap and get a benchmark on there, even though it's not been a clean lap by any means. Braking that 100-meter board. Last lap we struggled. This lap no issues. Down to first gear. Easy in second, and then on throttle very early. You can definitely notice the difference when the tyres drop the temperature. You can pick up traction so easily. One more straight and then we brake. Again, not really sure where I'm going to try and guess the 100. The understeer is kicking in, but we do make the apex just about over these kind of tricky Mickey Mouse corners. The car's quite interesting actually. Straight away I can notice there's a lot of understeer on initial turning, but then it bites midway through and it picks up the apex, so that's something I'm going to have to get used to, having not much of a front end initially, but then the car will pick up like that mid-corner and just get so much grip. Come on then, let's try and end this strong. This has been a pretty decent actually second half of the lap. Ultimate corner, that's pretty tidy. One more to go. A little bit wide, missing my apex, but on the throttle, up to the line. And there we go. Our first lap of 45.7. I need to check the actual real life benchmarks this weekend that they were doing, but I believe it was in the 36s. I think maybe even a 35 for Hamilton, so I'll have to double check the lap time, but we're about 10 seconds off that at the minute, but obviously we are going to improve. It's a lot of time to cut off these laps. We'll go for this lap here, hopefully it's a clean lap, and then we'll compare the two. This time it's been a much better lap time. 1.2 up already, and so we go into the back straight. Let's see if we can maybe improve our 2 seconds, but I'm looking forward to actually shaving off some time with some setup work on this car. Down to the chicane. I tried pushing out the brakes a bit, didn't quite work. Car feels pretty good over the curbs, I can't lie. Responds pretty well, whether that's just this track remains to be seen, but I'm liking this so far. We have lost a bit of time though, we're now back within a second. Let's try out a strong sector 3, 100 meter board again. Apex will grip up halfway through. Let's carry a bit more speed through here. Third gear, up to fourth, back to third. Apex on the throttle again. There we go, that's pretty tidy. Into these triple rights, which tightens up on the last one. Locking up doesn't feel that much of a thing, to be honest. It feels almost impossible to lock up on this. Although having said that, I've not really pushed the brakes to the max. But if I'm not locking up with this setup, then I'm probably not going to lock up with the qualifying setup. 2 more corners to go. Let's end this strong. Try and get the apex. No, we missed it again there. On the gas, using all the track like in real life. And we improved by about 1.1 seconds. So a 44.6. Let's go do some setup work and let's try and improve this straight away and try and get a little bit quicker in this car. Okay, so surprisingly, there's not many changes I can really do except for reducing the fuel and tweaking the aero and the brake bias, which is what I've done. The fuel was actually on max fuel, race fuel, so we've actually gone from 145 litres down to 50, but that's really it. We're already on the quickest tyre, so this is where we're going to see a difference in the car, compared to a 2019 car in terms of the lap time performance, but I do think there's more time to find. It is a big learning curve. There's a lot of details and a lot of places where you can improve, but let's see if we can do a better lap here. Let's try and set up a good exit out the final corner first of all. Here we go then. Let's see what this lap is like. Straight away, turn 1, let's try and push this a bit more on the brakes. And that's backfired straight away. Got no front end grip whatsoever. Well, I'm currently improving on this lap anyway, even though I ran wide through turn 1. There's just so much more time to find. And I'm carrying a lot more speed, 1.4 up here. I've also realised 8th gear, I wouldn't say it's glitched, but the ratios are wrong. So you don't want to use 8th gear in this car because it's just too high. You're going to lose a lot of momentum. So you're going to only keep go up to 7th in this car. But let's end the lap strongly here because we're looking pretty good. 1.6 up. 2 corners to go. That's pretty good through there. Braiding the curb a little bit. Got to be careful with that through the final corner. On the gas. Up to the line. We're going to improve by nearly 2 seconds. 1.9. There we go. Down to a 42.6. Tyres are nice and warm now as we go for another lap. Let's try and improve. This time nice and tidy through turn 1. Probably going to carry a bit more speed, but we're almost 2 tenths up. Holding it in 7th gear here to carry more speed. Aggressive into the apex. There we go. Tyres up the temperature. The car's working well now. Throw it into the hairpin. Use 1st gear briefly. Quickly back on the gas and we're 6 tenths up here already. I thought I'd let the gears run a bit higher. There we go. That's more like it. And we're going to keep it in 7th here on this straight. Let's see how late we can push this brake zone. 100 meter board at least. That's probably a bit early, but we'll take it. I was a bit scruffy out of here last lap. That was much cleaner. Almost a second up. 8 tenths up at the moment. Let's try and push this brake zone a bit, keep it in 7th gear once again. On the brakes, there we go, nice and tidy through there. Carrying the speed over the chicane, over the bumps. There we go. Oh, a bit of a steer, but we're improving. Car's getting quicker and quicker. How late can we brake for this one? Turn in, there we go. We just about got away with that. That might have been a corner cut, that might have been on the limit. Either way, we're going to push on. It's really hard to tell out of this cockpit view where the limits are, because the tyres really impede your vision. Hope that's not the case in real life. 2 corners to go, or 1 more now, should I say. That was better. Right on the apex, up to the line, on the throttle. And we improved by 1.5, down to a 41.1. We're getting quicker and quicker now. Let's see if we can get into the 1 minute 40s. A little bit wide there through turn 1, but we'll take that. That was a much cleaner line. This will be my last lap, so let's make it count with this current setup. A little bit of a lock up on entry there. We run a bit wide. Trying to carry a bit more spin to the hairpin. Oh, damn it, that's the back end gone there. Right. I'm going to take a bit more fuel out. Try and tweak a few more setup bits here and there, but I reckon if we can get below 1 minute 40, I'll be quite happy with that one. Okay, so we made the changes to the setup. The fuel is now down to 15 litres, which is pretty much qualifying fuel. I mean, I could go a little bit lower, but we've gone from 50 down to 15, which is quite a lot. And also, I've made a few more adjustments to the aero, so we are running a little bit less wing, both front and rear. And I've also tweaked the brake bar, so hopefully I can lock up a little bit less and have a bit more confidence to really brake later. So here we go. Let's give this a try. I feel like I might struggle with tire temperature on this first lap, but we're going to try anyway. Here we go. Let's see how late we can go for turn 1. That's pretty damn tidy from me there. Very happy with that. Nice bit of momentum. A little bit scruffy over the curb there through turn 2, but we're 3 tenths up. Let's carry the speed down the hill. Good sector 1. Now we've got to keep it tidy through here in the slow speed stuff. Back on the gas, down to the hairpin. Turn in. Trying to get on the throttle, there we go. Going to crank the ERS deployment up to VMAX. A little bit early on the upshifts there. And actually this ERS mode isn't quite working. Now it's starting to kick in a little bit. There's the VMAX. Now we're starting to hit the top speeds. On the brakes. A little bit early there for the chicane, but you know what? We move anyway on the throttle again. Good exit there. Build up the speed. DRS. Now we go to the VMAX. Let's top out the speed trap here. On the brakes. Just about getting to slow down. Over the curbing. Oh, big moment there. Big spin. Normally I take a lot more inside curve. That backfired on me that time round. But we was half a second up, so we was on course for a mid 140. Right, you know what? I'm gonna probably go quiet and focus on a lap because this is it's a challenge, man. Abu Dhabi bites, so we need to get a good lap in. I'm not gonna quit until I get a sub 140. I think a sub 140 is possible, so I'm gonna sweat it out for a bit and try my best to get that lap. There we go, I think we've done it. 39.8. I'll take that. That was a good lap. through the final corner. This is going to be a good lap. There we go. We're going to improve by 6/10 to 39.1. And that is what I'm talking about. I could just get into the 39s with the battery mode on the NGUH, but I went to the motor, which is a proper qualifying mode, and we found a lot more time, and that was a really, really strong lap. And actually, that is pretty much 3 seconds off the real-time F1. If you look at the lap times from Lewis Verstappen in the actual qualifying, about that, I think Lewis 36s, 35s, in that kind of region, so we're there or thereabouts. And to say this is a 0.1 version of the mod, we're actually pretty damn close to the real thing. So really, really happy that the car is actually really fun to drive, especially once you get the tyres up to temperature and you get it in that window where you can just push. Every lap it gets faster and faster and faster, and it is quite rewarding to drive, and it does still feel very fast as well, so which is a really positive sign. But guys, that's it for this race here at Abu Dhabi. If you guys want to see more tracks, then put them in the comments down below. If you want to see more videos with this car, like I said before, it'll be linked down below in the description. But I'm now going to leave you guys with the full replay from both the T-Cam and also the TV replay camera, so hopefully you guys enjoy those. There you guys, that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, then by all means drop a like, and like I said, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts and possible future tracks. And like I said, the mod will be linked down below in the description. But that is going to be it for this one here today, and my very first experience with the 2021 F1 car here today at Abu Dhabi. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos from me, and also check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.